If you want the easy way to get high quality meat, I highly recommend you try out ButcherBox. You can find more information in the video description and even a special deal as a gift from me to you. But my digestion was honestly totally fine. In fact, it was way better than when I was vegan.
Liar.
I remember before going vegan, before eating mostly raw, I did not go to the bathroom that often.
Yeah. I want to point out the fact that Alyse is just a paid actress in a commercial. Look, it's so obvious that she didn't do this challenge. No footage of her cooking, eating, or anything. The only footage was from 9 months ago. Busted Alyse. Hey, free woman. So, Misalignment, Alyse Parker, just uploaded a video. I tried the carnivore diet for 30 days, ex-vegan. Her video has even been covered by mainstream media like Fox News. So today we are going to talk about this dangerous and, as you will see, unlawful video that she posted. And hopefully after she views my video, she will be smart enough to take hers down. And for those of you who don't know this plant-based poser's history and her association with veganism, then definitely check out my 2 previous in-depth videos about Alyse.
No, I never crave fast food or non-vegan food because there's so many vegan options. Any non-vegan food that you miss a lot. I would never eat a non-vegan item again. It's something that I know was just a part of my past and I never want to be part of my future or my present ever again. I'm not made to eat dead animals.
These videos show that she was just paying lip service to veganism and was never actually vegan, but plant-based. And as always, make sure you vote on the video, whether it's a thumbs up or a thumbs down. It really doesn't matter, but these videos take me a long time, and if you want to see more of them, make sure you vote on them. And don't forget to subscribe to my new channel, The Frugivore. The link is in the description below. So Alyse asked her largely plant-based viewers about what challenge she should do. And even though the response was cold showers for 30 days, she went with a 30-day carnivore challenge instead. Clearly, that's not what her plant-based audience wanted to see, but as you'll see soon, that's what she was being paid for. So let's get into the video. The video is not only deficient in science and fibers, but also actual content. It starts with this repetitive mainstream commercial beat that is designed to stick in your head to help information retention. Within the first 10 seconds or so, I could tell it was filmed by a professional camera crew. Alyse slaps down this huge slab of factory farm tortured animal, and because she is a frugivore, not a carnivore, she starts off by salting the meat intensely to disguise a taste of decomposing flesh. And then she whacks it on the barbecue, as every carnivore does.
I've done a lot of crazy things in my life, but I haven't eaten only meat for 30 days. Until now.
She tries her best to be badass, but just ends up looking like a dumbass as she pulls some immature, comical face and tries to make light of a very serious situation. She puts one piece of flesh in her mouth and that is it. That is the last time we see her cook or even begin to eat any flesh. And that's because she didn't actually do the challenge at all, and I'll get to that later. So in case it wasn't obvious to some of you, which is understandable, I want to point out the fact that Alyse is just a paid actress in a commercial brought to you by this unethical company, ButcherBox. A company whose CEO has made $30 million in just 2 years, furthering disease in humans, animal exploitation, and the destruction of the environment. A company that has an abysmal reputation and alarming reviews on Yelp, which we will get to later. In 1 year, the company paid out over $1 million in commission to affiliates like Alyse. This is her affiliate link and page, which is linked from the description of her video. So how much is this carnivore being paid? Well, after being on YouTube for over a decade, I estimate she is being paid $20,000 or more for starring in this commercial. And the more money involved, the higher the onus on the creator and the company. So as I was watching the commercial, I suddenly realized that Alyse and ButcherBox have a big problem here. Alyse actually failed to disclose in the video that she was being paid by ButcherBox, and as a result, the company and Alyse are breaking influencer advertising laws and potentially consumer rights laws within this video. And if she doesn't take it down, her and ButcherBox risk being sued by not only the Federal Trade Commission, but also individuals or groups who may have taken on this dangerous challenge. Also, I noticed Alyse didn't tick the very obvious contains paid promotion box on YouTube. That lets viewers know that the video is sponsored by a company. She will probably do that now. This is still not enough, according to the FTC. Recently, the FTC released updated guidelines outlining rules around paid sponsorships, and as we know, Alyse doesn't research anything.
I've never, ever, ever been the person to research and research and research before doing something.
Yes, we remember. And as a result, she is not complying with these rules. That's right, the FTC is going after US influencers in a big way. These laws are in place to protect consumers from people like Alyse who use deceptive, misleading marketing techniques to promote dangerous products and services to the public for money. ButcherBox has already been pulled up for deceptive advertising, and now it seems like they're at it again. The Federal Trade Commission is very clear about what is required of influencers and the importance of not misleading or withholding information from viewers. It is not enough to state that you are being sponsored for the video by slipping it into the description box. You need to state within the first 30 seconds or so that the video is sponsored by the company.
So today I've partnered with Maple Lodge Farms, who sponsored this video.
And ideally state that you are receiving money from the company. So the goal here is that the viewer is fully aware that they are viewing an ad. Saying this,
I've teamed up with ButcherBox to shed some light on how to source high-quality meat,
is not enough. Teaming up with ButcherBox to shed some light on sourcing high-quality meat is not disclosing that you're being paid for the ad. And it is breaking the FTC rules. So if Alyse doesn't remove the video, then she could have big problems. Which brings us to the next point, which ties in with the potential litigation issues she faces. I noticed that Alyse makes a number of unverified claims throughout the video, like,
while this diet may seem to be absolutely crazy, there are actually many reasons why someone would willingly choose to eat this way. It has been shown to help relieve the symptoms from many illnesses such as autoimmunity, fatigue, obesity, inflammatory diseases, and more.
This is a lie, and she cites no reputable sources to support the claims. She shows infographics without citing any scientific papers. The fact is there's no scientific research to support that an all-meat diet would benefit your health. However, there is a plethora of research confirming that a high intake of meat increases one's risk for a range of diseases and premature death. Not even high, low to moderate. So, under the payment of ButcherBox, Alyse is promoting a challenge that is dangerous and can potentially injure or kill a consumer. I mean, let's take an example here. Let's take consumer Jane. Jane, for instance, has a pre-existing heart condition. She watches Alyse's video and challenge and decides to take on this carnivore challenge. Jane buys and eats the amount of meat necessary to sustain herself on this challenge from ButcherBox, say at least 2,100 calories a day for a woman for 30 days, which would make it around 60,000 calories or more from just meat, which we know is extremely dangerous considering the amount of saturated animal fat and protein just for a start. But halfway through the challenge, Jane has a heart attack and dies, which is highly possible. Then Jane's family can quite reasonably sue Alyse and the company for omitting important warnings about the dangers of an all-meat diet and also making fallacious, unscientific statements to increase potential sales of the product. Not only the family, but the FTC or the Attorney General may sue as well.
Let that sink in.
Alyse goes on to awkwardly compare this challenge to not washing her hair for a month or going off social media for a month.
Out of all of the things to try in the world, why am I choosing to eat meat for 30 days straight? You guys know that I love challenging myself, and actually since I've been on social media, I have shared and documented so many challenges. I have gone 30 days without washing my hair. I've gone a full year without using deodorant. I have gone off of social media for 30 days and documented that.
No, Alyse, it is not the same. You are quite literally endangering people's lives and furthering animal exploitation and encouraging the rapid depletion of the planet's resources with your recommendations. This is not the same as going poo-free. Some serious health risks that Alyse omitted in her video she didn't warn her viewers about were, for example, from the Cancer Council, did you know that eating more than 700 grams, raw weight, of red meat a week increases your risk of bowel cancer, and we know that she's recommending more than 700 grams per week on this 30-day carnivore challenge. The risk of developing bowel cancer goes up 1.18 times for every 50 grams of processed meat eaten per day. Remember, she is also promoting bacon and other cured meats in this video, a class 1 carcinogen. Red meat such as beef, lamb and pork have been classified as a group 2A carcinogen, which means it probably causes cancer. One of the obvious legal issues here is that these unverified statements are not only false and potentially damaging to the public, but they increase potential sales of the product in a deceptive way. This in turn increases profits for the company. This whole situation may not have been as much of a problem if there wasn't money changing hands. Look, I'm not against sponsorships or making money per se, but if you are being paid to deliberately promote unethical companies, brands and services, then that is not okay. How are we going to change this world and the situation for animals if we don't speak up against unethical people like Alyse Parker? So Alyse films a day 1 where she supposedly gives away all her high fiber foods. She even looks sad as she gives away fruit. She then explains why she will be including some comforts into this challenge.
So I decided to let myself keep 2 comforts throughout this challenge for the next 30 days. Bulletproof coffee and matcha, because hey, I'm human and honestly having a warm caffeinated drink to look forward to every single morning helps make this challenge so much easier to navigate.
Hang on a second. This is meant to be a carnivore challenge, you said at the start.
The carnivore diet is a zero-carb diet that includes nothing but animal foods. Yep, that means no carbs, no plants, no fiber.
So before the challenge even starts, Alyse fails and has plant stimulants, matcha and coffee. And we know why, right? Because no carbs equals no energy equals addicted to caffeine. She then suddenly jumps from day 1 to day 10, where she starts talking to the camera with a heavy filter on. And people are like, oh, you look better. It's like, no, it's just a heavy filter. But day 10? Not one bit of footage from the whole 10 days? We didn't see this carnivore eat one piece of meat.
The first 5 days or so I was eating dairy, and since then I don't know, I haven't really had like absolutely amazing digestion so far.
So for the first supposed 5 days, she was even eating dairy. And Alyse, if you cared to research, look, I know you don't like to research, but you really need to, you would discover that dairy has lactose, which is a sugar and carbohydrate. And let's not forget those beef and bison cured meats that you snuck in there have dried cherries, cranberries, all sorts of plants, carbs. The wild smoked salmon from duck trap is prepared with cane sugar, more plants, more carbs. So yeah, she claimed the challenge she was doing has 0 carbs, but again, she is lying. Alyse then leads into her introduction of ButcherBox by pretending to care about animals and the environment by speaking about the horrors of factory farming.
As a huge health advocate and someone who cares about the animals and our environment,
I'm not even sure if she's for real here. This is coming from the girl supposedly eating animals only for 30 days straight. I can't with this girl. Alyse, stop pretending to give a f*** about animals. Your cover's been blown. We know you do not care about them. Just stop. Alyse always does this. She pretends to care and pretends to be educated, but in this video it is clearly she is just reading from a script that probably ButcherBox wrote for her. So she is just like a paid talking puppet. So let's talk a little bit more about this ButcherBox company. Their reviews on Yelp are shocking. Mostly from angry people. People complaining about not even receiving their orders and still being charged, cancelling their subscription and then months later being charged again and not even able to get a refund. Deflated packets of animal flesh that was actually off, holes in packets, worms in salmon. Like, these are the risks you take when you eat animals. See, this is the kind of company that I would never associate myself with because I have standards, because I care about you, I care about my viewers. But Alyse obviously doesn't care about her viewers because she doesn't do any research before she promotes anything, and she sells out and promotes anything as long as she is making lots of money out of it.
And here's the meat, and it's all thawed out. It's not even cold. It's not even cold. and the meat is here, and then I can see blood dripping from something, and then I saw blood dripping out of the box.
ButcherBox claims to source grass-fed, grass-finished beef. They do not have any beef certification from anyone, not even certified organic, nothing. And what raises my suspicions even more about their grass-finished claims is that they declare the cows they source are from Australia. For one, this is a way to avoid any scrutiny by the USDA about their grass-finished claims. Although the USDA largely doesn't even verify grass-fed or grass-finished claims, and instead lets farms self-certify their own beef, which of course is ridiculous as it's unregulated. And the government no longer has an official definition of the term grass-fed or grass-finished, which means it's a free-for-all, and anyone can call their cattle grass-fed or grass-finished and don't have to provide any evidence of this at all. And if it's true that this butchered cow flesh is from Australia, then the air miles are another contradiction to their sustainable claims. So yeah, I'm calling bullshit on their grass-finished claims, but even if it was true, these poor exploited animals, whether they be from the USA or Brazil or Australia, whether they're grain-finished or grain-fed, it doesn't matter. They all end up in the same place. They all end up in the house of slaughter, killed at a fraction of their lifespan, so uneducated puppets like Alyse can line their pockets with blood money.
You can find more information in the video description and even a special deal as a gift from me to you.
Something the FTC may have a problem with is when Alyse claims to be giving her viewers a gift to entice them into buying the product, but it is just a discount from the company of $20, which she will then in fact receive herself as it's an affiliate deal. According to the site, she is earning $20 commission for every new purchase made. We then suddenly jump to day 23. This girl appears to have no conscience whatsoever. She doesn't give two shits about lying to her long-term viewers if it means that she makes the moolah. She boasts about having abs due to starving herself through intermittent fasting.
Ever since I decided to start more so intermittent fasting and having 2 meals a day instead of just grazing and eating whenever, my digestion has been on point, legit abs.
Not impressive, Alyse. It's just water loss, which you will gain back. I mean, I have abs, and I have done for the past decade, and I'm averaging 2,500 calories a day from high carbohydrate foods. No starvation, no coffee comforts, no animal exploitation.
30 days and lots of meat later, here I am, still alive, ready to share with you the conclusions of my experience.
And then, in a blink of an eye, we go from day 23 to day 30. Look, this is a scam. She didn't show one piece of meat the entire time, and now the challenge is supposedly over.
And I know you're all probably wondering what the heck happened to my digestion from just eating carnivore for 30 days straight. And this may sound surprising, but my digestion was honestly totally fine. In fact, it was way better than when I was vegan.
Liar.
I remember before going vegan, before eating mostly raw, I did not go to the bathroom that often. And I always felt like that rock in my stomach, like a full stomach, and that was not comfortable.
No.
So she says she lost around 2 pounds in the 30 days. Actually, Alyse, the scales say 1.5 pounds. And I'm immediately drawn to her toenails right now, as her nail polish looks very similar to day 1. Same color, scuffed. It just looks a little too similar to me. And she's trying to have us believe that there's only 680 grams of weight difference between her day 1 and day 30 after such an extreme challenge. Folks, you must be able to tell here that she is lying her ass off. Then she does this super strange before and after comparison where she looks exactly the same, but she stood further away in the after shot. Why? To appear smaller, like the challenge worked or something? This is pretty strange. My bet is she didn't want to display side by side because it will show that she looks exactly the same, because this wasn't filmed over 30 days. It was filmed more like over 2 days and possibly 5 at the most. Ponder this for a moment. Do you really think Alyse is going to look exactly the same after 30 days eating such an extreme diet? Only steaks, bacon, eggs, salmon, and cured meats? Of course not. She goes on to talk to this Michaela girl who promotes this absurd lion diet, which is just a rebranded version of the carnivore diet. But again, Alyse fails to warn her audience and mention the fact that Michaela's mum is apparently dying of kidney disease connected with this dreadful carnivore diet. She then says this at the end.
I will keep you updated with my diet after this challenge is over. After this challenge is over.
But hang on a second, the challenge is already over, right? Isn't it, Alyse? If we back up a bit here, she says this.
30 days and lots of meat later, here I am, still alive, ready to share with you the conclusions of my experience. Will I continue eating 100% carnivore now that I have completed this challenge? Now that I have completed this challenge. After this challenge is over.
Busted, Alyse.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my god, stop fucking lying.
Another telltale sign that she didn't actually do the challenge is that she used old footage that she filmed 9 months ago as if it was her during this 30-day challenge. I mean, if you actually did 30 days, wouldn't you just have one single scene filmed of yourself cooking? Not Alyse. Look, it's so obvious that she didn't do this challenge. No footage of her cooking, eating, or anything. The only footage was from 9 months ago. Virtually no weight change. She looks exactly the same. Suspicious nail polish. Kitchen looks the same. Nope, nope, nope. She did not do this challenge. But she did get the moolah for it, didn't she? Alyse may have got paid for this, but she is risking a lot, as I've outlined in this video. If someone decides to call or email the FTC and they catch up with her, or someone hurts themselves trying to do this stupid challenge, then she can be held personally liable. Alyse, your behavior disgusts me. It really does. You should be ashamed of yourself. You need to realize how serious this is. So apparently Alyse is going to be on Good Morning America and some other shows. So if you want to get the truth to these networks and to the papers, then send my video to them. Email it to them, call it through to them so they can actually learn the truth about this situation. And if you want to get exclusive content from me, what I eat to stay fit, lean, and actually healthy, then check out my Queen Bees VIP group. Just click the join button next to the subscribe button on my YouTube channel and watch a video for more information. That's my video for today. Let me know in the comments below how you feel about this, and I will see you next video.